Hey everybody, it's Watch with Josh. I'm Josh. Welcome to my show. This is the Randonautica channel. We're just like now trying to build up content on this channel. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we're live streaming. This is like really exciting because like I haven't seen a lot of these clips. So the way this show works is I watch like clips of Randonautica content that has been found, and our producer kind of cuts them down so like you don't have to waste time watching a 30-minute Randonautica video. We kind of like get to the meat and bones and you can like see the most interesting things. So I'm super excited. I just have one word to say all to the Randonauts. Thank you for being pro subscribers. If you have not been a pro subscriber yet, I would suggest now is the time to do so because we are about to come out with this social feed, which makes Randonautica not just a tool for exploring random places, but it actually makes it a social media site where people can share their synchronicities, and it's all about novelty. Instead of algorithms feeding you content, it's going to be randomness and stuff people find in the world. It's actually really interesting. So we're probably the only application that's like trying to get people off their phones and into the world. So if you haven't become a pro subscriber yet, please go to the shop and there should be an option for you to subscribe. Everything's better with a buddy. So I'm inviting my friend Derek, who's kind of worked behind the scenes on the reality TV show for Randonauts. And he kind of comes in and helps, comments on some of these videos.
I do what I can. What's up, Joshua?
Not much. We get a range of videos. We get anything from creepy dolls to horse genitals.
You name it, we got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we had
you're a one-stop shop for creepy dolls and horse genitals.
Hey, Nikki. Hi, Tyler. And as always, please leave your comments. Sandy Jewel, it's Thursday. Hi, everyone. Yeah, leave comments, ask us questions. We love interacting with you guys. But we're going to ask you questions. Like, we want to know what's going on. Hi, Jackie. Jackie's my mom's name. So
Scotland.
Much love for all the Jackies in the world. There's a beautiful name. Howdy, Nikki Hayes. So welcome to Only the Handsome's on the line.
Oh, all right.
Always a jokester. So the way the show works is I haven't seen any of these videos. Derek kind of comes up with some witty banter. I think he's seen some of them, but for me, it's like a true surprise. Like I haven't seen a lot of this content. So if you want to line up video of the week number 1, we can watch it.
Yeah, let's go right into it. Like you said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us throughout the stream. We'd love to get to them. All right, video 1.
Okay, so over the past few days, I have been reading up on this, and I actually found a lot of warnings from people online who are basically saying, don't try this, it's dangerous. One of them reads, be cautious, you are dabbling in quantum manipulation, destined to cause unnatural shifts in the space-time continuum. Basically, you are opening doors you cannot close. Be careful what you wish for. The universe will grant your every wish, but not as you intend it to be. So people are really out here taking this stuff seriously. And I think for me, it's creepy, but at the same time, I can't bring myself to totally believe that an app could have this.
So he's skeptical.
He's skeptical.
The only way for me to ever believe in something like this would be to experience an unexplainable coincidence for myself.
So he's going into it with the right mindset, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for a big
Can we drop the banner?
Can we pause it for a second? Like, this guy's like a true skeptic. So like there's pseudo skeptics out there who just like are just like, oh no, what you have is total BS. And a real skeptic would challenge both sides. They would say, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I'm going to test for myself and see. So this guy, I respect his approach. He's going into it like with the correct skepticism.
Very Twilight Zone, says groupthink. Yeah, it's got a little feel to it. Hey, from Michigan. Hey,
Don. Hi, Don.
Randonauts mess with some Doctor Who time and space shit now.
Yeah, we have been doing that for a while. So
Yeah,
let's
so okay, so
continue.
go into it with a skeptic mind, but like the kind of skeptic minds we like to see where you're open to things.
Right. He's
Yeah.
not just a scoffer who's scoffing at this idea.
Mhm.
He's really genuinely interested. So a real skeptic is going to take both sides. He's going to
Yeah.
consider the possibility that it's real, and he's going to consider the possibility that it's false. And we need skeptics like this. Like skeptics like this are good.
Anytime I've gone on a trip, like for stuff like that, this is kind of the same kind of mindset I have. I go into it with just like, okay, try to see both sides of it, but let's see where they go with this.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
let's see.
Focus on your intent. What's our intent? What should it be?
Blood over intent.
Okay, no, let's do blood. Let's do blood.
Blood?
No, it has to be something fun. Let's do happiness. Let's look for some happiness. I feel like we could use that,
I could.
Blood
Start
and
off with
happiness.
blood.
So
And then they
it
changed
gave
it
me
to
2
happiness.
points that we can go to. I see police sirens. You see that? All right, wait, we have to investigate this. Or is he coming my way?
No, he's coming our
He
way.
looks like, oh my god.
No, he's coming our way.
Shout out Nick Crowley on YouTube.
What the hell?
There should be a link for his channel if you want to watch the full video.
They're getting out. They're getting out. Just stop. Just stop.
So they found an ambulance.
Oh, there's another ambulance. What the f? Okay, so
Okay, this is exactly where it's said to be. This is the exact location of where that house is, right there.
how the f? Nick.
No. This could be bad. This could be bad because I don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay. I don't want to record because it looks like they're getting out the stretcher and stuff. Like, I don't.
That's
There's
respectful.
no way we could have even.
Yeah,
figured
he's
that.
just stuck. So yeah, so let's pause it here.
Okay, no, seriously.
She says that there's no way they could have faked that. Like they literally show the point, and then they show that where the point is, an ambulance or 2 ambulances came, and their intention was blood. That's
Yeah.
pretty freaky. Like that's not just like leaving an object somewhere and pretending you found it. Like
Right.
they legitimately experienced a temporal anomaly, which means like something anomalous that's happening in time. So their
Especially the
intention
ambulance
definitely worked.
showing up like at the same time they got there too. It's like if it was something where like they were driving around and they saw an ambulance parked somewhere and like, okay, let's check it out, like whatever
Right.
as far as, but like being there in the moment, like you see them pull up and stuff. So like it's definitely some legitness to that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what else happens. Let's see.
Seriously, I'm not even joking. That is so.
Nick,
I hope everyone's okay. Holy shit.
I'm
Yeah, it's
actually
good.
shaking.
He's got a good
I'm
heart.
not even joking. I'm actually shaking.
Look, another one. Another one's coming.
What?
Another ambulance.
Oh my god. They're turning down. They're turning down.
Yeah, just reiterate they mentioned blood
Okay,
as their
okay.
intention. They changed it to happiness, but blood was like the first thing they kind of focused on.
Yeah, so like you have to be careful like where your focus goes, because if you just say blood, but then you say, "Oh, my intention is happiness,"
Oh, hold on.
the blood intention could carry over. That's why being focused is very
where they are
important.
going, and I don't get like this.
I'm actually scared. Like,
So they pull around the corner and exactly where they were supposed to go. Some more sirens show up.
The pinpoint that it gave us was right in between 2 houses, and there's ambulances out front of both. And our pinpoint was right in the middle of both of them. It just,
Yeah, it
when I was
works.
watching these videos, I kept thinking, oh, this shit looks so fake. Like, there's no way that actually happened. And now, I feel like this is going to be one of those videos. It's too crazy of a coincidence to be real. That's how I feel.
but the thing is, how do you even fake? Like, look at that. There's another one coming.
I'm literally right here, and I can't even believe it. Look at, yep, look at
And
it's
so-
It's a
gonna turn
lot.
left.
It's not even
gonna
like
turn
it's
left.
like 1 or 2. Like
Yeah.
there's a fleet of
Look at it's going
ambulances and
exactly
fire
where
trucks.
the
It's
pinpoint
like
was.
so unbelievable for him.
Dude, this is weird, freaky stuff. So I think it's safe to say that we did encounter some unexplainable occurrences when we were out there. I mean, the coordinates that it sent us to were right in between 2 houses. And as soon as we pulled up, ambulances and fire trucks just showed up out of literally nowhere. I guess in my mind, it just doesn't make any sense how that could have happened. And I think back to when I set my intention and when I jokingly said blood. Okay, no, let's do blood. Let's do blood.
Blood.
I don't know. It just makes me question a lot of things. But you guys know me, I'm a very skeptical person. So after our first time using the app, we decided to give it another try later that night, just to see if we'd experience something similar.
This will be
I
the
like this
ultimate tester,
guy.
I feel like.
Mhm.
I
This was
like his
something understandable
approach.
the first time, and if it happens more than once, then it's going to tell us a lot. So for this one, I want to do something darker. I think we should do...
Darker?
They got blood earlier, and he wants to go darker.
Don't you think?
I mean, shit, I guess.
I mean, for the video's sake. I feel
Yeah,
like it
for the
fits this
video's
channel.
sake.
So
It does, it does.
I think it should be death. What do you think?
Bad idea.
like that
She's
idea?
not a
He
fan of
knows it's a
Stop
bad
that.
idea.
She goes, "We're gonna
After last
die."
time, I feel weird saying that, but I think that's what it's gonna be. Death is my intention. Not for us, but we'll see. So let's see what we find.
Can you imagine being
Car's turned off.
He wants YouTube videos
Okay, so right here, hold on.
views so bad that
And
he
that's it.
sets an
That's
intention
the
for
end
death.
of the footage. Because on our way to our first location, a car swerved in front of us and literally missed us by like a fraction of a second. It was the scariest, craziest thing that I've ever experienced. It was a straight road where the speed limit was 55, and so I was going about 60, and I'm assuming the other car was as well, and they swerved in front of us and swerved away at the last possible second. And from my point of view, it looked like they missed us by literally inches, and our intention was death. I don't know. I've never been someone to believe in something like this, and rationally my brain is telling me that this app is not real, it's not true, but it's like, how do you explain that? Because even if it was just a coincidence, that's what the app is all about, coincidences. So if you decide to use this app, I would just say, be careful.
Crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you set your intention as blood, and you go out and you get something very related to blood, and then you decide to darken it up more and go for death. That's kind of like a big, like, you gotta be a little more careful with that stuff.
Some people like to touch the hot stove, but the thing is, like, you don't have to touch the hot stove. Like, you can learn that the stove is hot without having to touch it. But
Right.
some people just have to touch the hot stove. But like, this gets us back to like the original point that I wanted to really make at the beginning of this video, which is that your intentions matter and what you do matters. And your intentions affect not just you, but the people around you and your environment around you. So that's what I have to say, is that your intentions matter. A lot of people take this app and they don't take it seriously, and they just go, oh, we'll just do it like a death intention because this is fake. But then they end up like this guy, extremely shocked when his intention came true. So for everybody out there who like is somewhat skeptical, I would suggest, at least like this guy did, doing some tests and seeing how your intention affects your Randonaut trip, because it can have unexpected coincidences and like different meaningful things happening, not just based on like what you say your intention is, but like when he said blood first, but then he said happiness, like you have to stay focused on your intention because anything could bleed through. So what you do matters. Your intentions matter. Your intentions affect the world, and positive intentions are what we recommend using when you use Randonautica.
Exactly. Not everything has to be spooky or anything like that. Let's look at some a couple comments about the video. Sandy, what's up, Sandy? It would be cool if someone is giving birth, blood and happiness.
That's totally a good point that I would not have thought of.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's probably
Julie.
the one time I would associate blood and happiness. Really, I can't think of any other situations. So
Yeah,
maybe
a
that's
really
why the
good
ambulances were
point.
there. Maybe someone was going into labor. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess they wouldn't have the fire
totally
department there, though.
possible. Totally possible. But I love this video. It's like a parable of like a lot of people's learning experience.
Mhm.
And like, me, I always use that app for positive things. And I never even thought of using negative, intents. But like people took it and ran with it and started using negative intents. And then you see what happens. So we see that thousands of people using like creepy intents and negative intents can manifest negative things. Like, just imagine what would happen if thousands of people used positive intents. So
Right.
let's check out number 2.
Yeah. Takes a second to pull it up here.
Video number 2. I love
went
that.
randonauting a bunch of times. Did you see that? And I caught this last one on tape. I thought this was a smudge on the car.
It's kind
or
of hard to
something
see. It's a
wrong
little
with it. Might
circle
be
that's
something
like
wrong with the
floating.
camera. But I slowed the video down, and right here, I see that come into frame. What is that circle? What is that circle? And it goes to a 6. Bam. Wings. And now it's a 9. So I think there's a glitch in the Matrix. Bye.
That's super weird.
I can't tell what it is. It looks kind of like, from the way that it comes up, it almost looks like someone's like, it's like smoke rings or something like that. With the way it kind of comes up.
That's just so weird because it's not the first time it's happened.
Really?
Like, if it was the first time that it happened, it wouldn't be so weird. Yeah. I wish we could put this on here somehow, but
You've seen other videos?
Yeah, our randonaut friend Val, she's in the Amazon, who went randonauting, and she found, like, in the sky, she was like, her intent was to find a nice place to watch the stars, and in the sky, it looked like numbers. It looked like 995. So this one, it says what? 069, dude.
Oh, 69. Yeah. Well,
my favorite number.
It's kind of
yeah. There it is.
Go.
So that's the one. That's the one Val saw. So, like, this is very interesting. Like, what if something is trying to communicate with the Randonauts?
I can see it now. Yeah, that middle, like the middle one and the left one, like definitely that circle looks very similar to the one that was popping up before.
Yeah. Well, in this, in the original video, that little orb in the ufology community, they call those orbs. And there's a lot of people who've experienced seeing them. I've actually seen one. There's a lot of controversy because people obviously are materialists and like always want to just write your experiences off as you being crazy. But people really do see stuff like this. And this is very interesting. So yeah, isn't it surprising how similar these look? This is definitely like some kind of code or something, or some entity is reaching out to the Randonauts.
Emily says it reminds me of the numbers that one person saw in the stars of Orion's belt.
I haven't seen that one. That one was very interesting. Well,
because it's weird. Because like when I watched this video briefly earlier before the stream, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it looks like. I mean, it's definitely looks weird out of place. I can't exactly place what it is, but it looked kind of like smoke rings or like some kind of bubble. I don't know if like Swamp Thing was hitting the vape or something like that. But like after seeing it compared to the other one that you pulled up, like. Yeah,
it's freakishly similar.
Yeah,
like, and this is real stuff. Like, we're not making this up. Like, I'm just as surprised as everybody else. Like, this is very new and like interesting and weird. So, like,
I was pretty quick to brush that one off earlier. So I'm going to look more into it now because now that since you brought up that other person,
and then Emily said there's another one, so we're gonna have to pull up that other one.
Orion's belt. I'll make a note of that. Check that out later. Tyler says I've had 1233 with balloons. Angel number.
Interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, that one's a very interesting one. So like in the ufology community, they would call those orbs, and numbers have significant meaning in their symbology. So like. You know, people look up the meanings of numbers and like, I don't know, 69 has a particular connotation in our culture, but maybe the aliens or whatever were trying to communicate something.
69, keep it unprotected. you know, maybe it was a yin and a yang. Maybe, maybe we were reading it. Maybe they weren't numbers. Maybe it was trying to keep it clean. No, it was probably 69. Yeah. No, it was 69.
It was but it was
069. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like,
I'll definitely look up. When I'm home by myself later, I'll search online for 69 stuff and kind of see.
Let's ask our viewers, like all our fans, everybody who's here watching the stream. What is your explanation for what these numbers are?
I hope Boomer's got
two different ones.
I hope Boomer says horny ghost.
Horny ghost. Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah. So that one's 69. That's the horny ghost. So what do you guys think that was?
But the 6 and the 9 kind of look like just a circle glitched out in the video frames. No, maybe because it also could be
Maybe.
like technical
Could
wise,
be.
like with stuff
Yeah,
the way
could
that video gets
totally be
captured and
that.
stuff like that. Sometimes
Could
like it's something
totally
that,
be that.
yeah.
But
knows?
yeah, the other one we have, we also have video from it. So maybe it is some kind of like video artifact, but it's like it's just super weird. I mean, Kiratan, have you ever seen that kind of artifact in videos before?
Yeah, let us know. Emily says the rational explanation is camera shake, but is very weird for all of the forms to make perfect numbers.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Jackie says,
Yeah.
not come across numbers yet, but we'll look out for it now. Yeah, always be on the lookout for like numbers and
Quantum numbers. Yeah,
like
that's it. It's random numbers. That's all it is. It like literally took them to just random numbers. That's hilarious.
In Jewish magic Kabbalah, numbers are a thing.
Yeah, numbers have meaning. They have like symbolism. So yeah, I don't know what, I've never studied Kabbalah or magic or anything like that, but like I do know that in Kabbalah that numbers like have meaning and like symbology. So who knows? If anyone knows, chime in and tell us what the meaning of 69 is. Okay,
Speaking
let's
of
get to
numbers,
number 3.
Let's go to number 3.
Oh, this music again. My favorite.
As it takes them to an abandoned factory. And their intention was friend, the word friend.
Oh, that's gorgeous art.
Yeah, but you see the girl?
Like, props to that bomber.
It looks just like that girl that was there with them, their friend.
That one was like over way too quickly for how freaking weird that was.
Yeah.
Like, if it looks like her.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I have different fakes as Tyler. I have different thoughts about this as well. Was this really a Randonaut thing? Do they know that this one has a portrait of this girl already?
In order for
it
them
like
to fake it, they would have to had already spray painted her face there, and then they just set it up to make it look like a Randonaut point.
Yeah, I believe that the artistry is real. The graffiti is real or whatever. But for me, it's kind of like there's two things that could have been. Like one, they knew if like they saw this before, like, wow, that looks just like whatever their friend's name is, like, oh, let's go here and check it out or whatever. And they go and they saw it, oh, let's get some pictures of you next to the thing or whatever. It looks just like you, blah, blah, blah. Or they just know a graffiti artist who did their painting before, or the spray painting before, and then took her there. It doesn't seem like it's an actual Randonaut trip. Nothing else about it, at least from what I can, seems prepared. That's what I kind of feel like. This was, I know there's like 8 of them too. They're rolling pretty deep for like a Randonauting trip.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the things we're trying to solve with our discovery feed. So whenever you make a report in the new Randonautica social feed, you're actually going to be able to show the random point you generated. And so people can actually go on Google Street View and verify that that is the actual random point, and you legitimately generated a random point there. So like, we don't know, like this could be just some place she knows. We didn't see her actually generate the app.
It could be legit too. I mean, I'm not gonna like, I don't feel, my instincts say like, okay, this is like prepared already. They pre-planned this whole thing and then kind of just like set it up and like, oh, let's just call it a Randonaut and kind of make it go. But I mean, I also don't want to discredit in case something like this, because we've seen weird stuff like this happen before. So I don't want to like automatically discredit this.
Like goes under like so weird that I feel like if I kept digging, like they would like be genuine. Like there's some that are just so weird and so unexplainable. Like either way, that's a very creative one, even if it is false or not genuine or whatever that means. Like, that's a very creative video. So let's answer some comments.
Looks like we have a few comments about the numbers video from earlier. So this is the last one here. Yes, to me, it looks like a frame bleeding into the next frame. Could be. Yeah,
Could
because like
be.
how video is captured depending on the device or whatever. Sometimes like frames can like overlap, or whether it's like interlaced, or however it's being captured. Like sometimes it can kind of bleed over a little bit. 3, 6, and 9 are supposed to be the most powerful numbers in the universe. It is said according to Tesla.
That's interesting. Yeah.
That's
that's really
on the number 9
interesting.
too.
So like, even if it is an artifact, just the fact that it's like 6 and 9, that's pretty funny.
still caught up on that, huh, Joshua?
I'll never stop loving
nothing
it.
else, 6 to 9 is pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
That's the takeaway that Joshua was giving everybody.
69, dude.
What is your most successful intent?
My most successful intent, well, would have to be like the pupuserias, because like one morning I was hungry for pupusas. I think I mentioned this last time, or maybe it was another podcast. One morning I was hungry for pupusas, was El Salvadorian cuisine. And I went randonauting, and it took me to a pupuseria that was filled with El Salvadorians, and it was legit. And I ended up eating there like every weekend for months. So like that was like my most successful intent. I think like it got me the closest like to what I actually was thinking about. I've actually had a couple, like the one I've already told about, like the giant skeletons, where me and my friend were talking about giant skeletons, and it led us to a guy who was meditating, and he pointed at a rock wall and said that giant skeletons were buried there. That was pretty weird. I mean, I've told this story before, but I set my intention for just learning about a city and like learning what to do in that city. And it ended up taking me to a bar called the Burrowing Owl, where I met a woman who like showed me these healing vortexes. And like, basically I found out what I wanted to do in Colorado Springs that weekend from using Randonautica. So I've had a few good ones, but I usually like to leave them open-ended and not too specific. I want to be surprised. That's the big takeaway.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, keeping it open ending and stuff like that. And you've had a lot of good experiences doing that or whatever. I've only been, as you know, I do a lot of the behind the scenes for some of the trips that we do and stuff like that for the company. So actually this next video is I was on this trip here. I was running one of the cameras for this next trip.
Good. So you got your intentions and energy.
So I'm there. Yeah. So I haven't watched this clip yet in a long time. So I don't remember if I'm in this particular cut down, because it is cut down from a much longer video. But yeah, let's check it out.
I'm Auburn Salcido. I'm a producer
Auburn.
on Radio Randonaut.
We love
and
Auburn.
I have been on over 100 Randonaut trips. I enjoy randonauting because I get stuck in my day-to-day. I'm a mom, I work, and I think randonauting helps break me out of my probability tunnel. The intention for my randonaut journey is purple because it is my favorite color. So we're gonna randonaut, and we're off like a herd of turtles.
So that was like an old version of the app.
Mm-hmm.
If your app doesn't look like that, don't worry.
Talking about it.
That was like an old version.
Hold on.
Purple turtles.
Purple turtle. So they mentioned purple turtles.
So like, yeah, so just this is kind of like, yeah, this is something to kind of look at, because she's off like a herd of turtles making a joke or whatever, but she has the color and the intention of purple and all that stuff. So we jokingly say like, oh, we run into a ninja turtle or, something like that. So
always be cognizant of like what you're talking about on the way to the point, not just the conscious intention you set, but what you're talking about and thinking about on the way to the point.
Cool. Make a play.
Okay. Things that make me feel purple.
What makes you feel purple?
Mostly like lack of oxygen.
Oh no, I knew she was gonna say that.
Is that a purple house?
Oh wow.
This house has all of these purple ornaments in front of it. We're 10 minutes away still. Like we really shouldn't be stopping here, but it's pretty good. Purple, everything, all these purple.
I love their garden.
And such. Then I notice around the corner there's a gate that is very purple and says welcome, 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 welcome. And I'm like, I have to go in here. You guys, we have to go into this backyard.
Auburn.
Look at all this purple.
She's the queen of knocking on people's doors. This is so beautiful and magical.
So we got to go into the backyard, which was amazing, and we look around and it is like the most magical place. It was enchanted and everything was based in purple. At first glance, it looks like everything's in disarray, but then when you go close, you start to see like everything's meticulously organized and there's so much detail, and it's like a very
There's an owl.
project
No.
to this person.
The rest of this neighborhood,
It's
like,
blowing my mind right now.
you would not know this place was there.
And I
Like
feel
in this,
really
in this
weird.
subdivision.
It's like
honestly.
hidden
I feel
away.
very much in
Yeah.
like
And I,
another place.
like 2 days
and
before we
time.
filmed this, I got
It was
pulled
like a
over and got
fairy
a
tale.
speeding ticket. Or no, a
Speaking of
U-turn
fairy
ticket
tales,
in this
right
Right
neighborhood.
there.
Spot something.
Wow.
Ninja Turtle. We just talked about Ninja
Yeah.
Turtle.
There's the Ninja Turtle. Wasn't Donatello, but it's
It
still
wasn't
Ninja
Donatello,
Turtle.
so
And
like,
rough,
yeah,
like a herd
so.
of turtles. And rough, like a herd of turtles. Because turtles are slow. Well, we're gonna get turtles now because we're
That's
talking about it.
beautiful.
Should
I
probably
mean, just
focus
all
on
the
purple.
intentions
And then one
that
of the
went
producers
into
said,
making that beautiful
oh, yeah,
garden.
Donatello is the purple turtle, so maybe we'll see a purple turtle.
Donatello? Who's the purple
Oh.
Ninja Turtle?
That's me.
We found a Ninja Turtle in the wild with purple in someone's backyard, like
Wild.
totally organically. Like we just were like.
Yeah,
brought
that's
to
pretty
it. It's-
weird.
Yeah. A lot of
Type of
nitpicky people
Randonaut trip.
would be really
Wow.
skeptical. Well, it wasn't
This
Donatello.
is
though.
getting kind of weird,
Yeah.
don't you think, Auburn?
I feel like pretty surreal right now. Like just I don't know. I'm a
Yeah.
little zen-y or something.
People report
Feels like I'm in a
this
different dimension.
feeling
in a
of kind of
Is
feeling.
that a cemetery?
There was a big weird
Oh,
energy
a
after we
little
went on
my
this shoot.
dizzy.
word. We're
Donna-
headed to our next
um,
point, which crazy ends up being in a cemetery. So we're pulling into the cemetery, and I'm kind of getting like this eerie feeling, just like one lonely little purple flower.
So this is there's our producer David on that camera.
It's weird.
So it's the same
Purple.
trip. This is the second
We have
location.
to go up
Brings
the
us to the
stairs and go.
cemetery. A lone purple flower there. As the day's going on, there's more and more like
There's
strange
just
energy going
This
through
one
as well.
bouquet of purple
Interesting.
flowers, and they're like the purplest flowers that we've seen on the whole trip. I feel very weird right now. This is crazy.
Tyler says if it wasn't Auburn, I'd be skeptical. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
And it was a very surreal, unbelievable. I don't know. It was crazy. Are we not allowed to be out here with cameras? Okay, totally understandable.
Auburn
We're not
always
supposed to
been in the
shoot
rules.
Any footage at graveyards?
That's what I love
Makes
about
sense,
her.
I guess. Since we're looking for somewhere to go, Auburn and our team decided to look for purple in the cemetery's neighborhood, where one producer used to live.
Is it even worth walking over to it?
Yeah. So the
I
cemetery
swear,
happened to
if
be
you-
right
if
next to
you're getting
David's
that
old
vibe too, we
neighborhood.
should do it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Purple door. Yeah, getting together with Auburn, you always have an interesting randonauting
Right.
experience. She's
Okay.
so powerful.
This next part here.
You good?
I feel like I need to
she's
go to
not
this place
good.
we're going, but it's okay.
Stop.
All of a sudden, I start feeling super weird. Like my ears started ringing, and it felt like I don't know. I felt really charged, like overdone or something. And we're walking, and then before I know it, I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I was just walking, and then
Little Nebraska accent. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, oh.
Oh, face plant.
I fainted.
Auburn.
And
So it's not as funny of being there in person, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I bet you were scared as
I
heck.
think if a
Yeah.
randonaut faints on a trip, that's normally a good stopping point. Although it's hard for me because I'm a hardcore randonaut, so I feel like I could have kept going. And the producers were like, "Look, she fell on purple flowers." So I think they could have kept going too. But
The
I felt
producers
good
were
about
like,
it.
"This is
we had
great
found enough
TV."
purple stuff, and I honestly needed like water and food and to like clear my mind for a second after like that crazy ending.
But she said
just
like
feel like
purple
the
as in
voice
like
rather, you know?
asphyxiation and
As-
like
yeah, like
fainting.
choking and losing her breath and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was weird because like I was running, so I was on the camera following behind her, so I was the one who caught it. And I was also my camera was the one with the mic pack hooked up to it. I was listening to it with my headphones, and I noticed the changing in her breathing as we were walking along. That's why I was constantly like, "Are you okay? Like everything all right?" Like I just noticed something was different, and then
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
And
But
you didn't help her. You just filmed. Good job, dude.
you didn't see the rest of the footage of me there
Good
helping
job.
her, and
Yeah.
making sure she's okay.
Giving her CPR.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
We'll release
get her
that
opinion on it.
in the extras.
Yeah.
Next time.
We'll ask her in person because we actually have her as a guest today, and she can vouch for me that I was there to help.
But is that interesting that she was talking about like asphyxiation and like not being able to catch her breath, and then like she fainted? Like, hi Auburn.
Hey, Auburn.
Hi.
Hi.
Derek
everybody
did
who
help
doesn't
me.
know,
Thank you.
Auburn is the co-founder of Randonautica. She is the brains behind this whole organization. She is the glue and she's the love that keeps us together. So if you don't know Auburn, you should now.
Things, but thank you, Joshua. I think
she's a very magical person. Randonautica would not be what it is without her today. So
it's very true.
We have a great team.
Very true. We have a great team.
I want everyone to know, in my head for a split second, I think I was trying to hit that mailbox. I wanted to lean on it. I was really tired. I was like, oh, there's a mailbox. And then like, that's what happened. So that was really
planted.
I don't know if I should be admitting this, but we did look in the mailbox was open, I think, or found something like that, I believe at one point. And there was a letter in there with a big purple stamp on it. And I'm just remembering that after you mentioned the mailbox. Yeah, there was like a big purple stamp on the mail. We didn't like take it out and read it, obviously, but like I just remember looking at it like, oh, the big purple stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, I don't know, Auburn, what do you want to say about this trip? Like,
man, I loved reliving this. I hadn't seen it in so long, and seeing it again, like totally put me back in that space where like I walked in there and it was like breathtaking. And the experience is like, you got to be in it to feel it, you know? But I actually, it was the most magical backyard. And I ended up being friends with the woman who owns this house. And she's like this super fascinating, eclectic, eccentric woman. And she is like, she's so into the Randonauts now. It's super neat that I ended up making a connection from it. Yeah. But I'm surprised at how many things I did wrong, like do not trespass, and also like hydrate. You're not supposed to film on graveyards, cemeteries, you know, things like that. So just so you know, I don't do these things anymore, people. This was when I was an early Randonaut. Now I'm mature.
When we were young and undeveloped. Now we've learned and matured.
You're also down here in Florida, which you're not used to the Florida heat as often.
And humidity.
And I mean, not necessarily that was that, because I mean, it was definitely like, it was more than just, it wasn't just like heat exhaustion or anything like that. It was because I remember like the big change in your energy throughout the entire trip.
Shout out to Florida. Shout out to everybody from Florida. We love you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Sandy has a question. Did it feel negative or just overwhelming energy?
Overwhelming energy. Like it was just like my body couldn't take like whatever the metaphysical thing was. I think it was just like way too much energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I felt like. I think after the fact, I rationalized it being like, oh, I'm depleted in energy. But in that moment when my ears were ringing, like it felt like, whoa, like something's like super too much.
I've had the similar experience. Like I was just like crawling around in a creek bed, and like I would feel dizzy and kind of almost sick to my stomach. And like this is kind of a common thing. We should do a survey and see if people have ever experienced this. If you've ever experienced like this, like dizziness or anything, please leave a comment and let us know. Like I've experienced it myself. Like I think sometimes like when you go so outside your stasis field and so outside your normal routine, like your brain is like trying to process all that uncertainty, and like maybe it like, you know, can't really handle the change in organization.
Sorry, go ahead, Derek.
No, go ahead. No, yeah.
You know, one of my favorite things that came out of this was that so many people started finding purple flowers after, and it became one of the memes when we were like really viral last year. And I like how we used to do intents on the weekend where we would set like a community intent, and then everyone we would kind of see come up with the same things and posting on Reddit and Twitter and such. And I was wondering, could we do purple this weekend and see if we can get a good handful of people to go out and use purple as the intention and see if we can get a bunch of it, like just purple up the subreddit.
Yeah, absolutely. And get as like crazy as you want, like with your interpretations. Like it doesn't have to be just like the color purple. It could be like something royal that, you know, purple represents royal.
Mhm.
So you could like make that connection. Like, let's see how far we can take this. Like everybody look for purple. And like, you know, now that you mentioned this, like I'm realizing I have purple flowers in my backyard. Like you start to notice purple stuff. So this week, purple it is, like John King said.
Yay.
Everybody
Yeah,
look
it's
for
a purple heart.
purple.
Yeah, I think it's a good intention.
Yeah. We're
John
going to
loves the
bring back
community
the community intense. Yeah.
I mean,
Let's
that
do
was
it.
that was one of the first Randonaut trips I went on. Like I had gone on with you without filming before, like once or twice, Auburn, but this was last year, early last year, right? Early 2020. I think it was like February or something like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, this was a crazy trip. Like I was still pretty new to the whole experience and stuff and going out, and then it being the neighborhood, like remember, like I got pulled over like 2 days before, like on that same street and everything. And the house doesn't, like, it's not a neighborhood you would think it has that kind of backyard or anything like that. And there was so much stuff that we didn't get to in this video. You can watch the full episode on our
the
YouTube
Purple
channel.
Love Pilot. I was going to suggest, please watch. It's great. The Purple Love Pilot. So go on YouTube and do Ready or Random, the Purple Love Pilot. It's amazing.
There's two other, because we do 3 people. It's Auburn, and we do 2 other people as well go out on trips, and we follow their intentions and stuff. And I don't know, it's a crazy experience for sure. It's over on our the Ready or Randonaut channel.
So go to the Ready or Randonaut channel, not this YouTube channel, but the Ready or Randonaut channel.
Yeah, it's well worth the watch. I think it's a lot of fun.
Definitely.
There's a lot of stuff we didn't get to, like on that trip alone. I mean, there was some crazy stuff like that. When we're in the cemetery, that purple bouquet was nowhere near the rest of the, like, it was a special grave under like a specific tree or whatever. That was, we walk in and there's like, here's everybody buried over here, and then there was one like crazy off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
so someone definitely intentionally placed purple flowers there.
And there was, I won't get into it because I don't know how much we want to kind of reveal of it or
Spoiler.
whatever, but like the name on the tombstone and stuff like that had a very specific meaning to you within that week or something like that, if I remember correctly, having to do with Bible verses and things like that. It was, I don't know, it's a crazy experience. I suggest you guys go check it out, watch it on the Radio Randonaut channel.
Yeah, please do. It blows my mind. That's when I knew you were really dedicated, is when I saw you fall on your face for randonauting. I was like, yeah, she's ride or die. Like, that's
it's easier to look at now, but that was, I mean, it was rough the day
it
of.
was
I had to edit
disturbing
this
when I saw it at first.
David and I had to edit this damn episode. So like so many times we had to like cut that, like edit around that spot. So we see you like face plant like 30 times a day, like trying to like, it was.
We need a GIF of Auburn falling on her face.
We don't.
Please don't do that. Please. I actually, it was more intense. Like the first edit was way more intense. It showed me on the ground longer and everything, and I was like, no, guys, you can't do this.
The breathing was different. We almost didn't put the. We almost cut the fainting out. Like there was a part where we were not going to put it in at all, and then Auburn changed her mind. Like,
well, I'm glad you did.
I cried first, and then I was like, "Okay, you can leave it in." I'm such a wuss. I don't know because it's
not.
You're
you're not,
because
because
now I'm like, I'm glad I did.
No, seeing like the unedited like footage of it, because like we cut a lot out of that. We made it a lot more lighthearted than what the actual experience was. Like, it's rough. Like, I'm friends with Auburn. I did not like seeing that happen to her, so it was not. It was not cool. So
you made it look all cutesy, but it was like a serious situation.
We should have added like a little slide whistle or something.
Derek, you like picked like grass out of my hair. And I was like blurry looking at you. You're like, I'll help you. It's like, thank you, Derek.
Yeah,
it's so sweet.
It was a wild adventure though. It really was. And the build, like you can really, like in it, you could feel it. And I think watching it, you can feel that it just keeps building and like the whole story just runs together. And I think that's how, when you really put your energy into Randonautica and you're there and in the present moment and all of your focus is going into it, then it almost puts you into this meditative state where you're just you're there and everything is connected around you and it's like a moving piece.
Yeah, it's like a mindfulness process. I think like
go ahead.
Go ahead with the question.
Axel here is wondering what happened with that YouTube channel.
The Ready Your Randonaut YouTube channel.
It's still there.
It's still there. Yeah. Just stay tuned. There's more coming.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah. Super secret. But I would like to give some advice for like if you're ever feeling overwhelmed while you're randonauting, like feeling like you have too much energy, like you need to ground yourself. Like take your shoes off, being barefoot in the grass, and consciously imagine that energy going into the earth and back to nature and back to the dirt and the worms where it came. And a lot of times that'll help. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with the energy, you can always do grounding practice, which is just sending your energy down to the earth. And all it takes is imagination, just like when you're setting your intention with Randonautica.
We have a comment here that says when they randonaut, they get a headache sometimes.
Interesting.
Sandy says, it's like I know when I'm done, even if I really want to do one more, I see myself going home, so I haven't pushed it that far. That's good.
I feel the same way. Like there's like usually like a point where it's like, okay, that's it. Like we're finished. Like it tells you when you're done, or you have a sense or an intuition of when you're done.
Yeah. Well, Aubrey, we got one more video. Would you mind hanging out with us and watching this last one with us?
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, let us know in the comments, or just comments in general. Let us know as we watch. But here's number 5. So they're looking for something life-changing.
Life-changing.
At first they weren't worried. Now we wish we never found it. We're easily scared. Stop watching now.
The
thing that changed both of our lives forever. Your mom's hot.
Your mom is hot. Well,
nice little misleading thing there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a bait and switch. I liked that. It was very creative.
I mean, that's a great video to like enter a video segment on for Mother's Day weekend is this weekend.
There you go. Happy Mother's Day.
There you go. Your mom's hot.
There's for all the hot mamas out there, especially the hot Randonaut mamas. I know we got a lot of them.
Oh, this is good. I was really surprised to see that at the end. I thought it was going to be some fake thing where they were trying to convince us that they saw something ridiculous, but they did see something ridiculous.
But it was more of a there's more of a joke than trying to like.
More often than not, like you're gonna find like a mundane thing at a Randonaut point. Like our effect size is rather small, so like the ability to consciously influence the random number generator, the effect size is going to be pretty small. So a lot of times it just leads you to a place that it's just random. But like, seeing stuff like this that's like kind of mundane, it's like classic Randonaut content. Like it doesn't always have to be so mind-blowing. It can be just like little graffiti that's funny like that. Like we appreciate that.
Lauren had a comment of now she wants to see a picture of their mom. You know what? I want to see a picture. If you're watching now and you got a hot mom, send us your photos. I want to see some hot mom.
No. We don't approve of this.
Not that kind of show.
No, this whole show has been way too masculine with all the 69, the horse genitals and stuff. Like I just felt like I needed to drop in just add some feminine energy to this picture.
We're trying to add feminine energy with hot moms.
Well, I don't think 69 is masculine. I think it's
it's equal. It's equal parts. If anything about 69, like it's balanced.
Oh my God, David, get me out of here. This was really fun. Thank you guys.
Fun, Auburn. Come back on soon.
Yeah, we love having you.
Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. I love watching. Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. Go take a nap with some purple flowers.
Yeah. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us, Auburn.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool having her on there. So interesting question for you. What do you feel about the theory of reality being a simulation? And then do you feel randonauting is kind of hacking the fabric of the simulation?
Well, it's kind of a complex question because it's like, what do you mean by simulation? Like, are you talking about like reality being like based on a computer simulation sitting in some dusty closet? Or are you talking about like reality being an illusion and a dream? For the purposes of this experiment, we assume that reality is real and that we are not in a simulation and that reality is real. So for the purpose of this experiment, we assume reality is real. But however, you could say that you're breaking out of the matrix because the stasis field, or the predetermined set of causal relations that creates your routine, creates a kind of matrix. And by randonauting, you break out of the matrix. So in a way, if you're talking about the simulation as in like the matrix of like all the, connected things that create your routine, yes, it helps you hack your way out of that simulation.
Cool. Thanks for the question. Our next question here actually comes from YouTube. When you guys are in the planning stage for this app, what was your intent or goal for this app to do? Or does this app work as planned from the beginning? Are you surprised about the huge trend this has turned out to be? You're geniuses. And it was out when the pandemic was going on. It gave people the time to do this game or scavenger hunt. And it has been a way for people to not be at home, but not in public. You made it a win-win for the timing, the mystery, adventure, everything that nobody would normally go out and do.
Well, thank you.
I apologize for my terrible read of that.
Yeah, I'm certainly no genius. We may have some geniuses on our team, but thank you very much for the kind words. When we were in the planning stages for the app, what was my intent? So my intent was to create emergent connections across the globe. So I was very well aware of what I was doing. And your question of, did I think it would blow up like it did? Yes. And I was counting on it. I didn't know when, and the pandemic kind of like surprised me that it blew up when it did. But yes, I was very aware of the changes we were going to cause in reality and society and even culture and, art. And we're having an influence in a lot of things. Like people that I was just fans of years ago are now talking about randonauting, or, people are building technology based on this same kind of my machine interaction technology. And that was my intention, was for people to stop, thinking so materialistically and start engaging in this sort of like technological revolution based on the mind interfacing with quantum randomness. And yeah, I basically did think we would be this successful. Yes.
Very well put. Sandy says it's Mother's Day on Sunday here, and my 2 sons and my husband are going randonauting with me. Awesome. That's a fun little trip.
That's lovely. So when I was a kid, my mom would take us on walks and we would just go see what we can see. And we would just call it see what we can see. And we would just go, and we had no direction and no purpose. We just walked around just to see what we could see. And I love that you're carrying that tradition on with your children and your family. And that's what Randonautica is all about, is exploring the world with the ones you love and with positive intentions, and learning more about your landscape, learning more possibilities, getting inspiration and epiphanies you wouldn't have had. So it warms my heart to hear that your family's randonauting. Thank you.
Cool. Let's speaking of randonaut trips, let's see what other kind of experiences we have. It's time for Reddit Roundup.
Quick Reddit Roundup. Here we go.
We're going to go through these kind of quickly here because we're running out of time. So we got the first one here coming up.
These can get pretty strange, so I'm kind of like nervous almost.
Okay, here. My intention was charity. It took me to an Oxfam, and this was in the window. Love Randonautica. A nice little owl there. Yeah, Oxfam is a charitable organization that's been around for about 70 years and in 90 different countries. So I didn't know what Oxfam was earlier when I first read this, but yeah, over here it's kind of like a Goodwill, kind of like in the United States.
Interesting. So they found an owl. It's like
front and center in the window.
Trademark. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, owls represent lots of things: wisdom, hidden knowledge, secrets. Yeah, that's a great find. I like that one.
Yeah.
Especially.
We'll see how you feel about this next one, Joshua.
Let's see.
I get brain fog whenever I smoke pot. Today I asked what the cause of my brain fog is. Took me to a sign about body, mind, and soul being out of balance. So I then asked for the remedy. Led me to a sign saying smoke free at all times. No more pot for me, I guess.
Wow. Well, first of all, duh, smoking weed is going to give you brain fog.
That sounds like the brain fog talking. Like, I get brain fog when I smoke pot. I don't know why. It's like, isn't that the point of weed?
Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids. That's the moral of the story here. But that's interesting that like they found exactly what they were looking for. And I hope that helped them break that loop or behavior and like realize that their habit was giving them brain fog. That's what Randonautica is for.
Yeah. We
smoke free.
We support a clear mind.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one here. Let me get pulled up. Not that one. Okay, so this one's in the Philippines. Anyone want to explore this area with me? It's hard because it's in the middle of the water, and how can I go there? I'm poor and I don't have a yacht. Rather, we don't have a yacht here in the Philippines, but it's weird Randonautica keeps pointing me this way whenever I go pseudo blind spots. I don't know if you need a yacht, but some kind of boat.
Yeah.
It's like right there in the middle of the ocean there. And like if you look another little creepy part here, what's that down a little further south? Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. The real one.
The real Jurassic Park.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
So they were looking for a boat. Did anyone get them a boat?
It doesn't look like it yet. So, I mean, I feel like we can use our powers here and our voice of like this community here. If you're in the Philippines and you have a boat, hook this guy up.
Let's find out.
I mean, I realize that's very specific.
So my tip is if you have a point in the water and it keeps popping up at that point, go from wherever you are and go as close as possible to the shoreline. And
there's
see,
that little
like on the way
middle there. There's like a almost little peninsula kind of, poking out there. There's like a specific point. I would go to that little spot there. Yeah, right there, David. Yeah. Well, check that out. See what's over there.
My advice is just to go as close as possible and pay attention to what's happening on the way.
Yeah, and then take some photos of the Jurassic Park spot and send it to me because I want to see what that is. Emily says I offered them the skip water pack, but they never direct messaged me.
Yeah, so if you live by a large body of water and you always get water points because you're like right next to a huge body of water, we do sell an upgrade that's purchasable for like $3 or something, and it'll make it so you never have a water point.
$3 is cheaper than buying a boat. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, Randonaut diving next level. Someone actually did that once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
see what's next.
Do we have time for another one? What we got?
One more.
Okay, Randonautica app. Here is a random location where on the exact coordinates is an orange flag marking the random location I have sent to you. I guess that's the quote. That's what it pops up in the app. And then, so can this app be smart? Bring that back. Kind of stuttering over my words here. Can an app be snarky? Spent like 25 minutes driving in circles trying to find a way to get to the spot without breaking the law. And this is what I get.
Good on them. Good on them. And yes, I have noticed that Randonautica does have a sense of humor, like a very funny sense of humor. So that's just an example of Randonautica's sense of humor. They drove around for 20 minutes, looking for a way to find that point without trespassing. And what they find is a flag right on the point.
Yeah.
So
some people in the comments say
very subtle.
That flag might be there to mark it as poison ivy. So I'd be careful. If you
definitely when you're randonauting, especially this summer, be careful of poison ivy and stuff. If you haven't looked it up, look up what poison ivy and poison oak look like, especially if you're going to go in the forest, because I've had poison ivy and it's really bad. And use calamine lotion if you've done it. Be safe when you're randonauting. Well, Derek, that was a very good show.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Of course, I'm glad. Thanks for having me. Thanks for Auburn for coming on. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. And thanks for everybody for asking questions or answering our questions. If you haven't yet, please pre-order the official guide to Randonautica on Amazon. I think it's still $2 or $3 off if you pre-order on Amazon. It's coming out in July. We answer a lot of these questions. I put some industry secrets in there that's not published anywhere else. And it has like some of the explanations that like aren't so public.
Thanks, Tyler.
In there.
I'm just realizing,
Thank
Tyler,
you, Tyler.
They're rocking Randonautica.
Yeah, I saw that
in the profile pic. I'm just seeing that now. Awesome.
They look great. They look awesome. Yeah. If you guys have any merch ideas, we're looking to create more merch. So if you have any merch ideas, please let me know and go to Randonautica.com to purchase our merch. If you haven't become a Randonaut Pro subscriber, go to the shop and hit subscribe. You get unlimited anomalies. You can set your location anywhere in the world. And there's a private Telegram group just for genuine Randonauts. So a lot of people aren't comfortable sharing their synchronicities and finds with just the general public. And we have a special space just for genuine Randonauts. So if you're a Randonaut Pro subscriber, you get access to that. So that's one of the most special parts of it.
I think Merrick Lloyd says, you guys showed my Reddit post with the Oxfam and the owl. Thank you. Love the app. Cool. Thanks for watching.
Thanks you for your submission. And the owls, good luck. So good on you. You're on your back.
I saw a reminder from Lauren on there to everybody like look for purple this weekend since your intention is purple. Nikki Hayes, I look forward to this every week. Thanks all of you putting this together behind the scenes, and Josh and Derek in front. Well, thank you very much, Nikki. We appreciate you tuning in every week. One of the regulars.
You're our favorite. Everybody who's regular is our favorite. So that was a very good one. Remember purple this week, and the more purple we find, the more other people will find purple, and it'll be like a feedback loop. So I want to see on all social media just purple, purple, purple in random places.
We can talk about it next week. Our next stream is May 13th. It's next Thursday. Hopefully we'll have a lot of good purple content to talk about with everybody out there putting their intention as purple.
I love it. Well, thank you very much, Derek, for joining us.
Thank you, Joshua. And thank you for everybody watching. Appreciate it.
See you next week.